All I know is that first, you've got to get mad. You've got to say, I'm a human being. God damn it. My life has value. So, I want you to get up now. I want all of you to get up out of your chairs. I want you to get up right now and go to the window, open it, and stick your head out and yell, I'm as mad as hell, and I'm not going to take this anymore.
Hi guys, Gillian Leivers here, just checking in with you. You all know me, the man fighting the grave miscarriage of justice.
Don't flinch. We're pulling the curtain back on the injustice on the Greenfeeds case, where verdicts were handed down, but justice was not served. So buckle up. This isn't just a broadcast, it's a reckoning. This is a case of a grievous injustice, and we want to understand how things went so wrong. Listen in every Saturday between 12 and 2 p.m. and hear how the story unfolds. You'll be blown away by its content. Only on Dreamcatcher Radio.
You want answers? I think I'm entitled. You want answers? I want the truth!
Okay, we are back for the Greenfeeds injustice case here on Dreamcatcher Radio. I'm joined by Phil. Phil, good afternoon.
Good afternoon, Brad.
On last week's episode, Phil contacted me and said I requested a certain song and I played a different song. I haven't a clue how it happened. Can you explain the differences in those songs, Phil?
Yeah, I asked for The Gathering by Delane and got Delilah by the Dresden Dolls. But it was because I've been flippantly mailing you the links to various songs and included Delilah as the very last one. And I think you probably went straight to it in your WhatsApp page and hit it by mistake. But not to worry. It's a good. I like it as a song. Well, I don't know about the rest of your listeners, but it's a good song. It features Lena Lovitch. Do you remember Lena Lovitch?
No, I don't.
No, you don't. It's well before you were selling nappies, I think.
Probably.
She had a hit with a song called The Bird Song.
Did she?
A Little Bird Told Me. Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You just got to remember, I'm in my 20s, Phil.
Oh, are you? Right, okay. You only look 40 odd.
Yeah, thank you. What have you been up to this week?
Not an awful lot this week.
No.
Bearing in mind it's only Monday, so no, not a lot really.
Oh, okay, sounds interesting. Anything interesting in the news?
In the news.
Wink, wink, nudge, nudge, you mate.
You're just winding me up, aren't you? You're just winding me up, yeah. Oh, Mr. Burnham's going to save the world, yeah.
Mr. I'm real life and all that sort of stuff. I understand you. Change, all the usual sort of words they come out with.
It's just to see if Rainer gets a job, wasn't
it? Do you know what, man? I was talking about this today. The fact is, nothing will change. Nothing will change. You may shuffle a few people around and all that sort of thing. The thing is, people think that a change in government means a change in policy and substance and what's going to happen. It really isn't. And also, they put this facade on. That basically Labour hate Conservatives hate the Lib Dems, etc., etc. But they're all buddies.
The thing is that we're all going to have to wear flat caps and white mufflers and go, by gum, things like that. Feather, come quick, there's trouble at mill. I
just don't understand how they can see that this is all legitimate, this is normal operation, and this is democracy. Really?
Yeah. I suppose my only answer to that would be, well, when the Tories were in power, I mean, we had how many? 4 different prime ministers without an election. So
I don't know. I'm not an antique like you.
We've got another 2 to go, I think. Another 2 prime ministers to go.
The I kind of think, right, this is beyond theatre. It really is, and I find it insulting, personally. Um, I'm not saying necessarily it's the wrong way to go about Andy Burnham going into office, but I believe it was all planned. I mean, I said in January, and it's on the record, that Starmer's going to wait until the local elections and then quit. What happened? He waited till the local elections, then quit. And then it was said, well, Burnham, obviously, he wasn't on the radar then. He looked like he was Cinderella. He was like awful, basically. But then they basically positioned him in to go straight into Parliament. And then Starmer said the next Prime Minister will be there in September. And I said, again, it's on the record, I said, no, it'll be done by the end of this, before recess. And look at exactly what's happened. And I'm not saying I can see things like, what do you call them, the spiritual tarot card readers, but you can see that we're just being played. We're just being played as citizens. And it's sad. It's sad to witness. So someone like me, who's a nobody, right, can see it. We're going into a position where we're going to get screwed over. We can't cope with any more taxes. We can't. We literally can't. The rich can, obviously, because they're rich. But they would argue, well, for the sake of the economy, they create the jobs and all that sort of stuff. And it goes back to immigration, in my opinion, as well. And it's planned illegal immigration because they want the cheap labour. Where I live, as a house a few doors down, there's 8 people living in a 2-bedroom bungalow, all illegal. When I walk my dog in the morning, they're all getting out the house. I know they're illegal because they told me. So it's not like hearsay. They told me. They arrived on a boat. And there's 2 vans waiting outside in the morning. The white vans are not sign written, but it's builders' vans. And they all trot out the property and go to work for the day.
Thing that gets my goat is, say for example, you're a bar owner,
Yeah.
right? And I come to you, and I say to you, what would you like this government to do? What are you going to say?
I think number 1 is the VAT. And business rates. Number 2, well, it could be, I'm not too sure what order, but business rates and VAT is the biggest thing. And
what does that do for you?
Number 3 is NI as well.
What does that do for you? All of them?
Reduce your costs.
And it increases your...
What?
Begins with P.
Profit?
Correct. It increases your profit. Now, one would argue that if you've got more money, more profit, then you can take on more staff, or you can, do more with it, blah, 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 blah. But ultimately, it's about profit. It's about money, isn't it?
Yeah, but no, Phil.
Not really about the working man.
I totally disagree. The thing is, how do you manage to increase employee wages if you've got no money in the business? Now, the other thing as well, once you've got more cash flow flowing, you invest more. It's human nature. You may go and buy a Ferrari instead of a Ford Skoda or right? And that goes into the coffers anyway. And this is what, people, there's a lot of people that complain about people on benefits and that sort of thing, but they're the best way to distribute money in the UK because they spend it quicker. The rich keep their money.
Well, if you're earning a lot of profit, don't you become rich?
Yes, but you're not talking about Richard Branson rich or Jeff Bezos rich or Elon Musk rich. We're talking about small businesses, which
that's obscene rich.
Yeah, but it's not even normal. It's not even. It makes me puke, really, to be honest. Everybody
sort of wants to improve their own lot, their own personal lot, don't they? If you're a pensioner like me, I want them to keep the triple lock. I want them to keep pensions in line with inflation and stuff like that. That's personal to me, and we're all the same.
Yeah.
You know, the shopkeeper wants to make more money. The man in the street wants to earn more money. If you earn more money, and prices are going to go one way, aren't they? North.
Not necessarily. Not necessarily. If the economy was controlled correctly, I mean, the mere fact that someone, a business, operates and basically, let's just say a pub, like using your example, yeah, and instead of earning say 30 grand, if they're lucky, right, they earn 130 grand, yeah. That will enable them to maneuver around refurbishing their pubs, make the establishment better, and make choices in terms of investments. And like, it doesn't necessarily make them a lot richer. Nowadays, 100 grand is not a lot of money, to be honest, Phil. It's a lot of money to someone like you or I guess. But the £100,000, that's a lawsuit nowadays.
There's a finite amount of money sloshing around in the economy, isn't there? I think.
Yeah, I know some very, very wealthy people, and they're scared as well. And I don't really understand why. I don't understand why they need so much money. But I'm not one of those hypocrites who basically said you're bleeding the economy dry and that sort of stuff. Because I think cash has a real issue in itself, if I'm honest. But we can talk about this all day long, I guess. So let's move on. But one thing I will say, I don't see any reason why we should ever have billionaires, ever. I don't think it's right. When this.
If you think about it, Elon Musk can give everybody on the planet £1 million and he'd still have change, wouldn't he?
Really? Probably.
Yeah.
I don't know. It's just not right. But the economy's messed anyway. It really is.
Which economy isn't? And coming back to what you were saying before about the Labour people looking at the local elections and going, blimey, 2 years' time on this rate, we're going to go out through the door. They were also had one eye on Farage. They didn't want Farage to be elected prime minister. But if you look at America is just the same. Trump is facing the same scenario. In the midterms, he's going to get absolutely shafted.
And so I hope he does. I cannot stand that man whatsoever. I think he's evil beyond belief. I mean, not talking about money as well. Who earns, whilst in their first year in office, 1.6 billion on the stock market?
Yeah, he's earned over 2 billion whilst he's been.
I think it's definitely gone up, and there's all sorts of stuff going on about India and its oil company now involving Trump and Donald Trump Jr. It's just horrific, the raping and pillaging, and apparently, he stinks of piss and shit all the time as well. That's what his staff are saying. So.
You think he could afford not to smell a piss and shit, wouldn't you? He could afford to pay somebody to smell a piss and shit in his place.
Yeah. All right, let's get on with this. Anyway, as always, we never know how we get these things started. So we finished off with Nikki Johnson or Nikki Romaniak of last week. I've had some comments come through, basically saying how amazing Nikki was, she's got some support there from whoever. They're from very peculiar email accounts. So Nikki, you've got some support there. The other thing as well, because obviously the last show has been aired now, is that we basically discussed the fact that she denied about doing health and safety and that sort of thing, where we know that she was involved in health and safety. And the point being, we read out these documents as the questions are being asked and the responses back, but there's other documents which contradict what Nikki said. So be under no illusion that she did not get involved in health and safety. She was. Even the presentation that was talked about was actually prepared by Nikki Johnson. Anyway, let's crack on. Where are we at, Phil?
So we've just discussed the slideshow, actually, the FEMAS slideshow.
Oh yeah,
Which,
yeah. I remember now. Yeah, no, not
Nick,
just flicking through it.
yeah, Nikki delivered it along with Laura.
Yeah,
So yeah, the guy says not just flicking through it.
no.
So would purpose of that process be so that by the end of that procedure going through those slides, you reading and Laura reading, giving people time to read it to make sure people actually reading it and taking it in?
That's a fair question, actually. Yes.
That's a bit of a long-winded question, isn't it, really? Anyway, yeah. So health and safety for Greenfeeds turnover, what all employees shall do. By reference to docs formed part of induction pack, do you agree?
I think so. Yes. So a reference to docs formed part of induction packs. Do you agree? Okay. So she accepts there was in induction packs, and all employees shall do. Okay, cool.
But that also included health and safety for
Yeah.
Greenfeeds, didn't it?
He mentions the first bit, health and safety at Greenfeeds. Yeah.
So she's agreed to that.
Well, she says,
Everybody's inducted.
I think so. Yes.
Yeah. So over the page, further bullet points, e.g., third bullet point down, observe safety rules and procedures and safe systems of work at all times. Part of that do's and don'ts.
Yes, she says. See, that's the thing as well. Health and safety is all encompassing. It could be any aspects of basically a business. So even basic things like do's and don'ts, which makes things a lot simpler for employees because their memory is like a sieve sometimes. Do's and don'ts work really well because I think you'll agree with me, Phil. I'm not putting words into your mouth, but the simpler you make it for employees, the easier it is for them to understand. And it's not for there to trip them up; it's there to show them about health and safety of yourself and fellow employees.
Yeah, sure. I mean, I think what I was going to mention last time we spoke, Nikki mentioned that she part of the standard PPE in the presentation didn't include anything to do with breathing apparatus or goggles or anything to do with being submerged in pig feed in a tanker.
And why do you think that is, Phil?
Because I don't think it ever existed as a procedure.
Mm. I think it's pretty obvious, though. Really, in all fairness, the that it wasn't a policy for anybody to go into tankers, and also going back to David Muniak, he can't be trusted either whatsoever. He's a hostile witness, in my opinion, as well as Mike, as well as all of the Muniaks. To be fair, he actually said he ignored what management said. He created his own system.
He did, yeah. It was amazing how they actually got away with it for saying it, and then they just toddle on.
I can't understand it. You can't. But basically, this is the thing with this case. There's a lot skipped over. Just carry on. Whatever. Mike Mariniak saying, "Oh, I cannot give a guarantee. I'm telling the truth. Carry on. And the unidentified witness. Oh no, the jury can decide. How the hell are they going to decide? They got nothing to work off.
Yeah.
Winds me off. Anyway, let's carry on.
So, safe system of work. The coke plant safe system of work.
Oh, this is a judge now. Going quickly, haven't given page numbers. Third page in J2375. And then I reply, that didn't refer to the coke plant because the coke plant wasn't in when this was done. Also, I had a comment, I think from Ian, it was Ian, about the weighbridge, because that was raised in the last episode. It's been there for a long time. It wasn't a recent addition to the site. It was well established weighbridge. So the assertion that it was new-ish in the space of a couple of years, I think it was there far longer. I've not seen any.
I mean, when you've been a HGV driver for 20 years, presumably you've been on more than one weighbridge, and you're bound to understand the workings of a weighbridge. Bound to, in 20 years.
Yeah, I mean, you and I saw the equipment. It's pretty straightforward. A couple of buttons.
Yeah, exactly that.
And on these sort of sites as well, weighbridge is a common practice. It's an easy way to basically understand the weight leaving and the weight coming back. So
yeah, exactly that.
It's common. So anyway, next is you.
So not specific safe system of work, generically observes safety rules and systems procedures at all times.
That's an interesting question, actually. Not specific. What is it? Safe systems of work generally observe safety rules and system procedures at all time. So, and she says yes. So again, that alludes that she has health and safety responsibility.
Yeah, yeah,
Outside of FEMAS.
yeah. So page 2376, further bullet points for employees.
We obviously haven't got the advantage of that document. It's 2,376 pages. Wow. And she says yes.
Over page, pictorial slide, re your workwear.
All right, so there's a picture of the workwear. She says yes.
Yeah. Do's and don'ts, page 2379. List of do's, page 2380. List of do nots.
Yes.
Medical declaration, seen a number of those.
Yes.
Page 2383. Employees' duties.
Yeah, she says yes.
Yeah.
That's
These
really
are all
interesting then.
these are all standard forms, by the way, that are issued to new starters and even existing staff to bring them all into line, to bring them all up to the same position.
But it doesn't demonstrate the fact that she's got knowledge. How did she get knowledge of this? That they do all this, right? That doesn't sound like scant disregard for health and safety, does it? The mere fact that she knows about it, she's read it, looked at it, possibly even used it.
Yeah.
Okay, go on.
Possibly health and safety people in the past, from Peninsula or even Sam Oxley, when she was awake, might have said, you need a file for, that shows when they start. You need a file to show what they've been issued with. It all needs to go in their personal file. Get them all up to date, sort of thing. But I mean, I'm only guessing.
One thing I've witnessed before when health and safety comes on site, I'm not on about the HSE here. This is your health and safety providers. They basically take their role very seriously, and they will ask you questions. Where can you find this, or have you done this, and alike. So they don't just come in there and saying, "Oh, you need to make sure that file's in that place, and this is in this place, and this needs to be signed," and that sort of stuff. They actually check if you're doing it, and also if you're not doing it, they report it to your line manager, or in this case, possibly the company director. Their insurance is on the line as well.
Absolutely.
And have to keep records to say this is what we've done on this day. Anyway, carry on.
So page 2383, employees' duties.
Yeah, this is you still.
Well, you say yes. Page 2383, continuation of that.
Yeah, I thought you was on this. Okay, fine. I thought we did that one already. Sorry.
Page 2383, continuation of that. Page 2384, health and safety policy statement, continuation. Page 2385, continuation. Page 2386, page 2387, fire procedures. Confirmed in statement, read fire procedures. This was a presentation, but different bits in it. Laura going to update it properly, add fire information. Is that part of that update Laura probably did?
I think so, yes.
Fire information. Page 2388, first aid.
Yes.
2389, manual handling. Continuation, page 2390, final page 2391. Your evidence there may have been more.
I thought there was a video. I remember seeing a video about manual handling.
In addition to these slides.
Yes.
I wonder who that came from. Tab 4, can plant. Coincided with Mike Maruniak becoming yard manager.
Yes.
coincided with Mike Maruniak wanting everyone to be trained properly.
This is good. This is good. This response. So basically, what there was, there's a good question actually. So before she was saying that she only wrote one method of risk assessment, right? One in regards to the CAN plant.
Yeah.
This is now suggesting in that question that Mike, along with Dave, because Dave does his own things anyway, Mike is basically saying everyone is trained properly. That's holistic, isn't it?
Yep. I don't believe it, mind you, but yeah.
Yeah, well, we don't know, do we? But anyway, carry on.
So take those words from a statement 3 days ago. Mike Maruniak wanted everyone to be trained properly. You said in evidence today, Mike Maruniak wanted to do things correctly in the right way.
Good question again. And so then that's holistic, all-encompassing. She says yes.
Page 198, safety paramount at all times. If unsure, telephone transport manager. You, in administrative role, don't know how to work and operate a coke plant, do you?
Hey, just imagine that, right? I'm just thinking in my head, getting your file out, going from pages 2,391 to page 198. That's a lot of paper moving, isn't it? But joking aside, that's a really interesting question here. She's just confessed that she doesn't know how to operate the coke plant, yet she wrote the method and risk assessment.
You had discussion given the information by Spencer Commons, the electrician, who did know how to work the coke plant.
He installed it, yes. So she didn't answer the question.
So knew how to work it and work it safely.
She now answers the question, yes.
And Mike Maruniak as well?
Yes.
Took that with the information you did know from Mike Maruniak to have a document to which he could refer when showing people how to use the machine.
Yes.
So we're now talking about train the trainer.
Yeah, I mean, these are actually quite good questions, for the first time, Phil.
Yeah.
It's not even...
It's a common thing in companies to have somebody trained to train other people.
Yeah, normally my experience is that you'd have multiple employees. When you've got new equipment, like you're buying like high value equipment, yeah, you normally get free training for it, yeah. When they deliver it, in my experience anyway. And also you have multiple employees, because one may leave at some stage or shortly after, as part of that training. And then basically that gets transferred into method risk assessments and a simple instruction. Normally they attach it to the side of the equipment as well, in my experience as well. And she replies yes anyway, but that's my understanding. Am I wrong, Phil? Because you
No, you're right. I'm not sure they would attach it to the machine, but the reason they send an engineer with new machinery is they don't want you breaking it day one.
Yeah, they don't want services, don't want complaints. Yeah, where I've seen it attached to the machine is where it's just in a sensible location on a cord, which is bolted to the machine. That's where I've seen it in many places, engineering companies and that sort of thing. Okay.
So we're out for time, yeah?
We're good. We got
document then left by machine, so anyone trained in the use of the machine ever needed to refresh their memory, which button, where, how, and safely could.
Yes.
Also wrote, don't mean ideas came from you. Put the document together with information from others. Also wrote operating procedure of this kind for vac tank and big hook. The big hook is a roll-on-off vehicle.
Yeah. And she's actually confessed to writing this now. She said yes.
Yeah. But what he's doing here is trying to distance her from actually writing the responsibility of writing it by saying she's written it by using other people's information, not her own.
Yeah, which is fine.
Yeah, I know.
But the good thing is, he's gone about slowly, cheeky monkey in these questions.
Yeah.
Because now
He's trying to distance her from it.
Now she's starting to commit herself. He's taken her down a path, and he's not entrapped her by no stretch of the imagination. But these are very relevant questions. So basically, it proves that she lied at the start of cross-examination, and now, she's saying, actually, I'm actually more involved than I previously admitted to.
Yeah. So tab 7, page 314, you agree that this is a method statement you wrote, got the info from others for unloading and loading skips using big hook trailer.
Yes.
Page 316, method statement for using a vacuum tanker. Do you agree?
Yes.
Right to take from that reason for its same. So when people show how to use a vacuum tanker or big hook, person showing them would be able to refer to the document.
That's an interesting response. I don't know if they were referred to, but they were just there. So we had got them and I could show them to FEMAS.
Right, so she's trying to distance herself even further there.
Yeah, her brother wanted to improve health and safety across the site. He wasn't interested in FEMAS. He was on about improving health and safety on the site.
Yeah, so she wrote these risk assessments from other people's information for his benefit, and whoever he was going to show it to, their benefit.
I think she's alluding to the fact that she couldn't give a toss if they were used or not. She just did them for the sake of FEMAS. But yeah, Mike's proposition is he wanted this because he wants to improve health and safety and information to staff. So
yeah,
who do you concur with? I don't know.
So the Coke plant was there to show people how to do it safely.
Yes.
The reason behind these documents, in order for people to be shown how to use in accordance with the method statement, do you agree?
Yes. So she does agree that they should have been utilised. So she knew the intention of the documents were not there just for FEMAS.
Yeah, or to keep in a file.
Yeah.
So close file, different topic, further statement on the 9th of December 2018 recollects that.
Obviously, we don't have the benefit of what was actually shown. I made a lot. I don't know the dates.
You said if anyone asked you, not able to tell them how tankers or skips were cleaned inside. At the time of making the statement, if anyone asked you, you wouldn't have known.
She says no.
At the time working in the office, you wouldn't have known.
Only thing I've seen. Oh, this is interesting. The only thing I've seen when jet washed out the skips and the outside of tankers. See,
which is standard procedure for them.
Yeah, which nobody's denied. The document, the judge kicks in now as well. We've got about 3 more minutes, Phil. GE notes of MB, it's XX. At the time of work in the office, who would you? Only thing I knew was skips washed out and outside of tankers, seen do them. So inside tankers, just didn't know, did you? No. Oh, so inside tankers, just didn't know. She replies, no. On occasions, the worksheets that have been recorded on side, think so, yeah, I think that means outside. So reality is that the majority of records for when skips and tankers were cleaned out, oh right, jeez.
Hey?
Were made
Where did
up.
you get that from?
Yeah, that's what I don't understand either.
She never said she was making it up by this point, did she?
No, she's previously said she made up lots of documents, didn't she?
She made up documents, yeah, but
But
here he's saying that the reality is the majority of the records for when skips and tankers were cleaned was made up.
Yeah, and she says yes.
Well, where's he got that from?
You can pick that up now. In the next one.
Weren't being clean enough for FEMAS.
Yes. And actually, she contradicts herself straight away now in the next paragraph.
Yeah, if a tanker was actually clean, that would go on a timesheet.
She says yes, so that contradicts that in such a short space of time. Jeez.
And what you did, you took those timesheets, you had to add cleaning, didn't you?
Oh, see. Oh, right. So she's saying that she's added it later. She says yes. This is a judge now. So did you mean you would add to the timesheet? She said yes. And the judge says it, and you would add on to the other documents. She said yes. So she forged all these documents.
That's what she's saying. You've given characterization of Ian Leivers in essence.
We're going back to that, Phil, though, right? We'll end on here. Right, she forged documents of cleaning outside tankers and cleaning inside skips and outside skips. That's what she's saying. And also she's been witness for the staff jet washing the top of the tankers from the outside. So she's forged all that, basically, knowingly and willfully, and by her terms and for the sake of FEMAS. But what she hasn't said thus far, I will say, that men go into tankers.
No, she's never seen that.
Yeah. All right, we need to go to a break. Phil, can I have your first song? Go on, get me excited.
Yeah, you promised to play this one.
Oh, okay, yeah. This is the second attempt. I'm going to purposely mess this up for you.
It's Big in Japan by Alphaville.
Okay, we're going to play that now.
Winter city sighs, crystal bell. Dreamcatcher Radio is about capturing and creating dreams through music, chat, and debate. Empowering expression, enriching society. A go-to place for unsigned musical talent. A radio station which listens to its audience. Free speech, vibrant, engaging. Stream worldwide 24/7. Events, competitions, promotions. Always keen to have a listening ear. Contact us. hello@dreamcatcherradio.com.
Dreamcatcher Radio.
Okay, that was Big in Japan by Alpha Phil. Phil will have to wait and see whether or not it actually does transpire that it is going to be that. Let's wait and see. Okay. We are back. Okay, this is you.
So you've given characterization of Ian Leivers in essence that he would come and shout and you were nervous of him.
Do you
recollect at times in his manner he would ask you everything okay with his health and safety, and remember him saying that?
No, not at all.
It would be correct to say, going through this number of documents that actually refer to health and safety, is that your role was admin. That admin included all the matters included today. So admin re FEMAS, health and safety, would you agree?
Great response here, mainly FEMAS, but FEMAS includes health and safety as well.
Yeah, so she's basically agreeing. Otherwise she'd have said, no, I don't agree.
Yeah.
But would you include health and safety as well?
Well, some bits and bobs. Yeah. How casual is that? Oh, bits and bobs. All of that going and checking things. Oh, I see what she's saying here. It's just a story. Let me just repeat what she just said there. Well, some bits and bobs, all of that going and checking things is just a story. So she's got scant disregard for health and safety. Is that what she's admitting to?
It sounds like it, doesn't it?
It appears so.
She is a little Miss Tick Box 2015, isn't she?
Okay.
So, safe system of work, prepared for your brother. You pass them on, enforcement down the line. Not for you to enforce.
She says no.
But your brother...
That's probably... Phil, can I ask you a question about that? Let's just think about that, right? So she writes the documents and hands them over to her brother, who's the manager. Yeah. Then can she transfer responsibility and just say, I assume they're being done or carried out the work in accordance with... Well, saying that, her brother said that he wants to improve health and safety. But can it that it can't be transferred, can it? Just say, look, I've written it, my hands are washed, I'm done. I've got clean hands now.
No, because it's not just enough to write a risk assessment. You've got to make sure that it's delivered and understood, signed off.
Right. Okay.
That's the full task.
Okay.
So, but your brother's intention and wish wasn't a story. No, that's what he wanted to do.
That's a good question. No, that's what he wanted to do. What does that even mean anyway? Tell a story.
So she was telling a story, but he was being serious, is what she's saying.
Oh, right, okay. Again, it goes back to what we said last week. This is a perfect opportunity when you can see that there's some really good questions here, and it's just left. There's nothing revisited. Although, I will say, this is the first time it's happened in all the cross-examination that we've seen, where he's gone from 2,000 page, 380 something back to 200. That's a prime example of good lawyering, where basically you refer back to documents, and it's clear here she's made omissions and additions to what her role was. But let's carry on anyway. But what I will say is that the point being is that, like a conclusion, it may come shortly, is that you hit them with a conclusion so the jury can clearly see what is basically being said, because juries will forget. Anyway, let's carry on. It says JAXX. There's something missing.
The first question is this: you've known Gillian Leivers for a long time now,
Yes.
and described how you and your family worked in different roles for Ian Leivers and Gillian Leivers, doing different things over the years. Would you agree, certainly prior to the agreement, had generally good relationships with Gillian Leivers?
Yes, I did.
Both professional and to some extent personal.
Yes.
To some extent. I'm not saying best friends and lots of time together, but good relationship, professional and
Yes.
personally.
Sorry, yes.
Yeah. She was always polite and courteous to you.
Yes.
Went a bit further as some mutual affection between you and Gillian Leivers.
Yes.
For example, Gillian Leivers was a hairdresser, salon on Classic Cuts in Mansfield. Different times you and your mother went to have your hair cut by Gillian Leivers.
Yes.
And in fact, she was invited to your wedding.
Yes.
My first one is what you were going to say.
Oh, sorry, I missed the line there. Yeah, sorry. There's so many yeses there. Yes, my first one. Yes.
And along with Ian Leivers, invited by you.
Yes.
And so measure that, although colleague, there was some personal connection as well.
Yes, describe different times working at Greenfeeds, but one of the things she would do would be to arrange girls' nights out. That's interesting.
At Christmas.
Just
at Christmas.
Went out 2 Christmases, one in New York, one in
somewhere else.
Yeah, somewhere else, basically.
Women who worked in the office, yourself, Laura, Alex Fortune, and you mentioned a few places you went to, not important where you went.
Yes, sorry, we did.
You went to Checkers, yeah. Riverside at Newark.
That was when we went to an Indian restaurant, yes. Then we went to Wheat Sheaf at Long Eaton.
In evidence, said she was good to you after you had your neck surgery, is that correct?
Yes.
Beginning of 2014?
Yes.
Good to you in sense she didn't decrease money and allowed you to continue to work from home.
No, I didn't work from home. She continued to pay me, and I was at home. I couldn't leave my house. I didn't work. Okay, fine. I couldn't leave my house for the first 2 weeks. Didn't do anything. As I started to feel stronger, I did some work because I didn't like being paid for nothing.
Point you're making, she was good to you and continued to pay you in those circumstances.
Yes.
Didn't have to do that because of the nature of the contract.
Yes.
She allowed flexibility in working. Your priority was your daughter.
My daughter was a young one, yes.
Gillian Leivers flexible in how she allowed your working hours to progress.
Yes.
Sign of her being courteous and an agreeable boss.
Yes.
Other work benefits, perks in terms of fuel card.
Yeah, I mean, that's quite an interesting benefit, that is, isn't it? for the nature of her job.
Massive benefit.
Yeah, I mean, I've not heard of that before. For her role anyway. Yes, I did for a while.
And the mobile phone. You wanted a Samsung Galaxy, and she got you that mobile phone, correct?
Yes, but it was for my work mobile used for FEMAS.
You asked for a particular phone, and in spirit of provision, she gave you the particular phone you wanted.
Yes.
Outfits for work when you were going to have to conduct some kind of audit.
When I went to the factory, she didn't think my dress appropriate, so she gave me £100. God, bloody hell. This is cool, this is Phil. She gave me £100 to get proper clothes.
Bloody hell. I've never known that, ever.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So basically, more appropriate clothing for the role that she was doing. So that will include health and safety and that sort of stuff as well.
Yeah, what kind of an audit was she doing?
Yeah. Okay, come on.
So when you recovered from neck injury, able to come back in 2014 onwards, work in close proximity to Gillian Leivers on a daily basis.
Yes.
Your desks are in proximity to each other, pretty close to each other.
Yes, we've actually seen it, actually. Well, we didn't see the desks, but the layout was explained to us.
You would be aware of the type of things discussed in the office and conversations which occurred in the office.
This is an interesting response there, which I can agree with. Sometimes, yes. The reason why I say it's an interesting comment is, to remember with the instruction that went to Richard Draycott from Stuart Brown, allegedly, apparently it didn't.
Yeah.
We'll have to wait and see. Gillian Leivers was in the office at the same time.
Did you hear it?
And did you hear it? Yeah. So anyway.
Totally unprovable.
Yeah, I mean, you know, when you're in a busy office, people are talking, and then they've got a TV on there as well. You know, it's pretty plausible that you wouldn't hear certain stuff. To be fair, so.
But sometimes you can have somebody talking to you, and they're talking to you, and they think you're not listening to me, and then they go, "Oh, I'm sorry, I'm listening to them over there."
Yeah.
You know, stuff like that, isn't it? Yeah. So, general terms, if conversation going on in the office, you might be aware of that.
Yes.
Lastly, measure of the affection that you and Gillian Leivers had. Not suggesting something more than reasonable affection. We have text messages between you and Gillian Leivers. Agree that is something you would do on a fairly regular basis before the accident.
Yes. On that point, though, if that seems to be the theme of their relationship, yeah, very positive, very interactive, yeah. How did it change so drastically?
2 guys got killed.
Her messages were evil.
2 guys got killed, and she thought her brother was going to be in the frame for it. That's what I think.
I mean, it's like multiple personalities. Because those messages were like vile that she sent to her family members. And we did read them out in an episode once. Anyway.
But that also means to me, we have text messages between you and Gillian Leivers. Off what? Off the Samsung. Off the phone that we saw those messages off. The same phone.
I'd imagine so, I guess.
Who knows? But it seems like they've interrogated one phone and not another.
Yeah. Okay, carry on.
I'll show you the text message if you like. November 2016. You were saying to her, thanking her.
Yes.
That kind of text message is not inconsistent with the type of text messages you would exchange with Gillian Leivers. Agree something like a measure of the affection you have for her.
Yes.
Thank you for those. Are my questions. Nothing from me.
Nothing from me. end of evidence.
Yep.
Let's move on to the next witness.
Box brother.
Okay, we are back, and the Ian Leivers has actually just joined us. He actually spoofed us out. He said he was going to join us, but he's been bell ringing. How does bell ringing go for you, Ian?
Bell ring is it's quite therapeutic actually. It's difficult, very difficult to learn. I've been doing it a year and a half, and yeah, I'm still a novice, but yeah, it's quite enjoyable, even though it's very difficult.
All right. It's not a bell in your hand, is it? It's like one of those ones you put on the cord, is it?
It is, yes.
Right, I got you. Okay. Cool. How old is the bell? Just out of interest. I'm trying to.
Oh, the bells.
I'm trying to make up some time because I'm trying to find out where are, and I've lost it. So
Yeah.
carry on talking to you and Phil.
Yeah, the bells have been refurbed recently, and they date right back hundreds of years. But we have recently in our local church have them refurbished.
How do you refurbish a bell?
Oh, they bring in the expert refurbisher.
Yeah, does that one?
Yes, I did. I know you know the answers because I know you're a church go also, Phil. But yeah, the expert bell ringer.
If you'd seen the bell at our church, mate, it's just a disgrace. It is really. You can hardly hear it. It's more of a dinner bell. Ours.
Yeah, we have 6 in our local church. Then we go to another one local with 4. And tonight we've been up at Farndon, a new church. Whilst we're having ours, one of the ropes has had a problem with it. So yeah, I've been in a new church tonight, and it was very good.
All right. I think it's the same principle then. I mean, one set of bells is the same as another set of bells, is it?
Well, yes. I mean, where I'm from at Selston, there's actually 8 bells there. Where I am at the moment, I'm just going in rounds. So you're following the person in front of you. Then they do a thing called hunt and also dodge and all sorts of things. But that's well advanced for me at this moment in time.
Do you wear earmuffs and stuff?
No, because we're in a separate room, Brad. The ropes come down and you've got another ceiling above you and the bells are above that. So it's not too bad.
That's cool they still do it, actually. That's great. Okay, let's crack on then. Liam Holmes, before we start, as you're here, Ian, who is Liam Holmes?
Liam Holmes, it was somebody very unimportant, actually, because he wasn't at the scene. We've got people there at the scene that night, like Lance, my son, and Jake Welch, who then went on to be the health and safety advisor. Jake, as we know, gallantly attempted to save the man, as Lance did when he went in the tanker. Both men denied to come to court, which is why I say this is the biggest miscarriage of justice ever in this country. Why wouldn't you want people, the rescuers, in court? Let me tell you, if you look at the CCTV footage I've shared where Lance is sprinting to the scene, and then you've got Aaron Shelley following him, and Stephen Webb, and Raphael comes out the can crushing shed and he goes down and he assists Lance inside the tanker. None of those were called. It was only the murderers and their associates called to that trial. Now, also very importantly, you'll have seen on my social media, I've shared at the tanker both Jake Welch there, and he can't understand why he wasn't called, and how the men were found. Nathan was found through that small 18-inch hole, and Tim Walker, the man who designed and built my tankers, he built them brilliantly. Why wouldn't you want Tim Walker to come to court to give evidence? Now, he did come to court and they turned him away. Now, coming on to Liam Holmes is just a young lad, Tim Walker's nephew. What importance was there in bringing him to court to give evidence? Now, I've not got the transcripts with me. Phil's not emailed them over. So I don't know what he's going to say. But there you go. That's giving you the theme. Why would you want to bring a young lad, that threw some cans into my crusher?
Right. Okay. I thought I'd let you talk because you've not really had the opportunity to talk because you've been busy ringing bells. So
Well,
he
I can answer. I can answer his question.
well, he worked in the can crusher, right? By the sounds of it.
Yeah, but he also, well, as you'll find out, he also claims that people were doing a Robin Neve every 2 minutes.
Oh, okay, cool. Well, let's go through it then.
Well,
All
he,
right.
he even called the judge mate. What about that? Lord Justice Fraser, he called him mate.
Was he sat on his knee at the time?
I think more than once, actually.
All right. Let's on a serious note. Let's go through this then, because he worked there for 14 months. Okay. There you go. Phil,
What was your employment?
I haven't got that one. I've got here. Left Greenfeeds March 27. Before then, worked there for about 40 months.
I don't think he did, actually. And I did sack him in the end.
It says I didn't leave or was sacked.
Yeah, he says I didn't leave him sacked.
Yeah. So you worked there for 14 months. What was your employment?
Yard worker.
You weren't at work on the 22nd of December 2016.
No.
Were you aware of members of staff asked to go inside road tankers?
Yes.
So you'll remember it. Can I just interact? I'm being rude immediately. Again, as I've just said, and I didn't know what was coming. Why was this young man asked to come to court when he wasn't even there on the day of the
for that basic answer that he's just made?
Yeah. I mean, it makes perfect sense, Ian, to be honest. Because he's a witness to say, allegedly that he goes on to say that he'd been asked himself. Just bear with so how are you aware?
How aware of that?
Being asked myself.
Who asked you?
Stuart Brown.
Had you been told why you had to go inside a road tanker?
Because not working properly, blocked inside.
Bit like his head. What specifically asked to do by Stuart Brown?
On that point as well, no disrespect to him, I'm not being facetious, just for the sake of clarity, this young man's still alive, right?
And he's the nephew of Tim Walker. And if you remember, Tim Walker said you would never go in a tanker. If you open the lid, it'll blow your head off.
Yeah, actually, yeah. He actually said as soon as, if you're standing, you basically can knock yourself out upon opening the lid. And he's also said... I very much doubt that Tim Walker would allow a member of his family to do something like this.
Well, he's also said he went in, Brad, to clear a blockage. And Tim Walker, as you've seen on my recent social medias when he's been at the tanker, the pipe goes down 6 inch, it goes to a 90-degree bend, then it goes 5 feet to the pump. So he'd have to have awfully long arms if there was a problem down there at the pump, wouldn't he? And again, to this day, nearly going on soon, it will soon be 10 years, nobody has explained to me what it is that was blocking the pump.
How old was he in at the time?
Just a young lad, I think he was in his teens.
Would it be, I mean, I must confess, if I was going through people to bring to court, I'm not sure I'd bring Tim Walker, to be truthful. Not with his, the atmosphere would kill you stone dead if as soon as you open the lid sort of scenario. Would it be down to the defence barrister who attended court?
Well, the thing is, Brad, sorry, Phil, it was a prosecution witness, so we couldn't call him. Jake Welch was a prosecution witness, so we couldn't call him. Stephen Webb, another person, one of the rescuers who sprinted down there, as everyone can see on the CCTV footage, did come to court. They turned him away. I believe they turned Tim Walker away, and they rang Jake every day from court, the police did, and then in the end refused to use him also.
So how is that decided then, Brad? I mean, it's like a question of who gets in first.
No, it's not. It's basically, it's whether or not they've covered the issues already, and there's no reason to bring, if they've got the same evidence to bring. I mean, sometimes they would use it to repetitive reasons, that they've got the same person. The difference was Jake announced that I'm here for the defence, not the prosecution.
Yeah, well, as you know, Brad, the defence can't call witnesses. It's down to the CPS, the prosecution. If they're not going to use them, then yes, we could. And when eventually the police said they didn't want him, I said, we've got to have Jake. And again, everything was just blanked.
I didn't know that, actually. So if they call them a witness and don't use them, you can't call them as a witness. Is that right?
We can witness once they've decided not to use them.
Right, okay, yeah. But anyway...
Not if it's too late.
Yeah, they left it too late. You're right, Phil.
Right, okay. All right, let's carry on.
So
in fact, they did. They gagged them, didn't they? Because Tim would come to court and explain how he built the pumping system, and it was fantastic, and that you could never get a problem with the pumping system, and the only problem you could ever get would be lobes that were wearing. And then, of course, you take the pump off the tanker and exchange the lobes. They didn't want none of that being told to the jury. And also something else that's I've realised, and we'll get to it, but I'd like to discuss it tonight. The prosecution barrister, John Harrison, later in the trial, not too far ahead, we'll soon get to it, screaming from the top of his voice as they do when they've got the wigs on because it's a theatre, "You sealed up the front and rear lids." So let's just break that down. What did it matter if I sealed up the front and rear lids of Gordon? Because let's not forget, John Harrison, the prosecution barrister's star witness, Richard Draycott, claimed that Nathan died in the middle compartment under the middle lid. So therefore, what relevance was there discussing the front and rear lid? He might as well have said, "I've sealed up the channel tunnel," because it had no relevance to the case whatsoever, did it? Because his narrative was Nathan died under the middle lid, where there was plenty of fresh air, but he wanted the jury to have a reason to why the men died. So by screaming from the top of his voice, "You sealed up their front and rear lids," he gave them the answer to find us guilty, didn't he? Because had he not talked about the front and rear lids, and also the health and safety executive also talked about the front and rear lids, I've demonstrated that they're all corrupt, they're bent, and they all need to go to jail under the new Hillsborough law. And nobody can challenge me on that point, can they?
The thing is, you're absolutely right. If he's referring to you sealing up the front and rear lids, he's putting a seed in the jury's mind that therefore you must have had scant regard for health and safety, because you're effectively blocking off two exits from said tanker.
You
That's
are
what
right.
he was getting at.
You are right, Phil. But his film, if you like, the narrative, his blockbuster film, claims that Richard Draycott says that Nathan died in the middle compartment.
Oh yeah, that sort of like blew his own foot off, didn't it? That
blown him in the balls, and I'm coming for his balls, because it had no relevance to talk about the front and rear lid, because his film claims that Nathan died in the middle compartment under the middle lid. So it had no relevance, Phil, did it? Because
the other thing, of course, is it only has relevance if people are actually inside said frigging tanker.
Well, as
if you're on the outside, it doesn't. You could have sealed all three lids up. It doesn't make any difference, does it?
Yeah, but the point is, Phil, is this also, or the facts is this: Nathan was in the rear compartment, but that wasn't John Harrison's, the prosecution's, and the health and safety executives' feature film, was it? Their film, their narrative was Nathan was in the middle compartment. So it's blown it wide apart, and I've demonstrated that they're all corrupt. This country is corrupt. It's corrupt in its entirety. The police are corrupt. The CPS are corrupt. The health and safety are corrupt. The old god lot of them are corrupt. And thank God we've got the new Hillsborough law, because I'm pretty angry, because I've demonstrated his story was a complete and utter pack of lies.
Okay, let's go backwards slightly. Did you say this? Sorry, his name.
John Harrison.
No, Liam Holmes. Sorry. Did you say he's Tim Walker's nephew? Did you say
He is, yes.
What did Tim Walker say about? Did he know about this statement?
It's never been discussed with Tim.
Oh, okay. All right, let's carry on. All right. Yeah, the Hillsborough law is a great law, and it's going to help a lot of people out. Ironically, what makes it really crazy, it requires civil servants to tell the truth.
Which is, you're going to get that, aren't you? It doesn't mean anything, does it?
6,000 cases on the day that law was handed down was issued to the courts. 6,000. Day one.
The biggest one to come.
So of claims that were made by people that suffered injustice from the courts, the police, and other agencies, or what I call stakeholders. 6,000, just over 6,000 it was, in day one. Geez.
It's not unbelievable. It's all believable what I've experienced, because, as I say, I claim the Greenfeeds is the biggest of them all. And I don't want to share too much from what the expert lawyer is doing with regards to the Criminal Case Review Commission, but I can share you with this latest information. It's been confirmed to the Criminal Case Review Commission that the CPS did not, most definitely, and I think it's been put in stronger words than this, did not use any CCTV.
Right. Okay, we've only got 2 minutes left, Phil. Where we at?
Okay, well, I would like to know, what did they actually say about the body coming out of the rear compartment, Ian?
Well, I'll let you two talk, and we'll just I'll let you know.
When Phil, our defence and even our doctor in engineering and the prosecution, the HSE, tried to insinuate that Nathan came out of the middle hole. But
no, did they just leave it?
Yeah, of course. Well, nothing got challenged, did it? You heard Mick Drury say the end hole. I brought that up at the time. I said, here we go, look. Now look, he's saying the rear hole. And they just, obviously, anything like that, it was just hush. Mouth.
Why would you cut a rear hole?
Exactly. Why would you cut the rear hole? Everything was...
I mean, Jake said that he came out the rear hole.
Yeah. Lance did. Stuart did. A lot of people have, and they've been interviewed, and statements have been taken, and it's now with the Criminal Case Review Commission.
So they just let it go? They just said, oh...
Everything, Phil. It was so corrupt. It's so dishonest, that trial. It is unbelievable.
I don't know. You're right. It is unbelievable. I think we've exhausted that, Brad.
You've got 60 seconds, so you might as well carry on.
Well, it just sticks in my craw, basically, because that is an absolute piece of evidence. It's irrefutable that they cannot say that both the lads came out of the middle hole, because they didn't. Simple as that.
Well, again, Phil, the prosecution barrister, he's claiming I sealed up the front and rear lids. Now, if Nathan come out of the middle hole, why is he mentioning the front and rear lids? How did Nathan Walker die if it was his storyline that he came out the middle hole? Because there'd be plenty of air in that middle compartment, wouldn't there? Under that middle hatch that you've measured, Phil, Nathan Walker's head would have been there, sucking in all that oxygen.
A couple of inches below it, that's all.
With air rushing in, sucking it in, breathing it, fresh air.
According to Draycott, he was dangling.
Yeah.
Which infers that his feet weren't even touching the floor.
A complete pack of lies, the old goddamn lot of it.
Okay. You can't press to dangle in a thing that's only 6 foot high. You've got your arms above your head.
Yeah, let's go for a break. Ian, go on, Phil. Go ahead.
Yeah, good one. Seems Like Heaven by Fiction Factory.
Seems Like Heaven by Fiction Factory, yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
Great song.
Heaven is closer now today. The sound is in my ears. I can't believe the things you say. They echo what I feel, twisting the bones until they snap. I scream but no one knows. You say I'm familiar, cold to touch. And then you turn and go. Feels like heaven. Feels like heaven. See how we plan for saddened eyes and tears to pave the way. I fought the fever as I knew. My hair returned to gray. Study your face and fade the frame. Too close for comfort now. We can recall the harmony that lingered but turned sour. Feels like heaven. Feels like heaven. You wanted all I had to give. See me, I feel. See me, I live. Feels like heaven. Heaven is closer. Feels like heaven. Heaven is closer. Heaven is closer. Feels like heaven. Heaven is closer. Heaven is closer. Feels like heaven.
Hi, it's Steve Little here. Rev to some people. Just telling you about my show. Steve's Sunday Service every Sunday between... Oh, wait a minute, I'm not having this. Join me every Sunday morning between 8 and 10 o'clock for some of the most uplifting Christian songs you've probably ever heard in your life. We'll have thought for the day, we'll have readings, we'll have Bible stories, but we'll have everything connected to you that will help you get to church on a Sunday with me, Steve Little. Yeah, Steve, Reverend Steve, with Steve Sunday Service every Sunday between 8 and 10 o'clock, only here on Dreamcatcher Radio. Play it, boys.
Soul is full, my lips will sing your praise. This is
Dreamcatcher Radio.
Okay, that was Seems Like Heaven by Fiction Factory. We're going back to the statement of Liam Holmes. We didn't get that far, actually, to be honest. So the last question that you asked, Phil, well, not you asked, but that was asked on the stand. What specifically asked you to do by Stuart Brown? To go inside tankers and clean it out.
So did he tell you how to do that?
No.
Did you know how to do that?
Not professionally, no.
So not professionally, aware of how to clean out tankers inside of a tanker.
See, this is what annoys me, right? Anyway, I'll just do the response then. Yes, got set up there with a jet wash. So he's on top of the tanker, is what he's saying. With a jet wash. It's not inside the tanker. But more importantly, the next question, well, who set you up?
Well, he says, how you were aware of that?
Well, okay, well, it answers that question. I had seen fellow employees do it. So he's okay, fine. All right, let's just carry on. Let's see how this goes.
How many times have you seen other employees do that?
Okay, 14 months. He says numerous, which is, I mean, he's young anyway, so you can't, give him too much stick for that. Numerous to me is not a lot.
Numerous occasions. So 2, 4.
His response is a regular thing.
When you say regular, how often? Once a week, month, year, once?
It's a valid question, actually. Once a fortnight, once a month.
Which is it? Were you present when other people instructed to go into tankers, or just seen them do it?
Both.
When you were present when other people were instructed to go into tankers, who gave the instructions?
Stuart Brown.
I'm beginning to get Gillian Leivers withdrawal symptoms here. You know this?
Well, to be honest,
I was thinking the same, Phil.
well, it was down to, remember, Stuart had Tim sacked and Liam, and they added him for Stuart, didn't they?
Okay, let's carry on.
So were the instructions he gave to others in the same terms as the instructions he gave to you?
Yes.
When he asked you
See,
to go
where in this scenario, right? I'm just thinking about it in my head. Where is Mike Maruniak in this situation? How does he jump the ladder and go straight to Stuart Brown?
I think he's working out how to turn on the can crusher, isn't he?
No, we're on about going into the tankers now.
Yeah, I know, but you just said where Mike Maruniak was.
Oh, what? I see. Sorry, I missed that one. Yeah, okay, fine.
Well,
do you know this young man, Ian?
No, I don't really know. He liked the Maruniaks. Tim and Liam were very close to the Maruniaks. Of course, he's not going to mention the Maruniaks, is he? Of course not.
Why so?
They're friends. Why would he?
Yeah, but they're grown-ass adults.
Well, I beg to differ.
But he's got the narrative, hasn't he?
In the mental sense. I don't mean in the mental sense. I mean in what connection could he have with like older people like that?
Well, he's been given his opinion. He's got the narrative. That's why he said people go in tankers. I've seen people go in tankers.
Right. Okay. Let's carry on then. Right.
He's sticking to the narrative. When he asked you to go into a road tanker, what did you say?
That I wouldn't go in without protective equipment. That's a sensible thing.
Yeah. Why wouldn't you go in without protective equipment?
Okay. Here you go. This is great. Because of the dangers.
What sorts of dangers do you think were present?
Fumes from the acid.
What else?
Just unsafe to do.
What did you think it was unsafe?
The toxins in the food and the acid. Without proper protective equipment, we know what happens, don't we? See, that's really interesting, right? I mean, obviously, I don't know what's coming next, but basically, he knows not to go into the tankers. Yet, he said he previously goes into tankers once a month or fortnightly.
So he must have had the PPE then, because he said he's not going in them now because he haven't got the right gear.
Yeah, but do you know what, Phil? Right, this reminds me of Nikki Johnson's statement we've just gone through. Basically, they've set her up to say one thing, the cross examination. Not even set her up, but she said one thing. Then basically, she's almost unpacked what she previously said, which is what you're here.
Giving somebody enough rope, isn't it?
Yeah,
It doesn't matter what anyone said in that trial, there was going to get brushed through. It didn't matter.
Yeah. It's clear. That's clear as day, Ian. Right? Don't doubt that. But one thing here is what's happened in this is that in a very short space of time, effectively, he's rewriting his own words, his own statement. So he's gone forward then backwards on what he previously said. Okay, what do you think was unsafe? Why do you think, Phil?
So you offered any protective equipment?
No.
In the weeks before Stuart Brown asked you directly to get into the tanker, anyone else ask you to get into a road tanker?
I just want to go backwards as well. I wouldn't go in. This is a very assertive term without protective equipment. All right.
Yeah.
Right. So, but he says he went in fortnightly or once a month.
Yeah.
All right. Okay. Let's carry on. Because it's important. This because
So he must have had some PPE from somewhere.
yeah. Fellow employee did yes.
Richard Draycott.
Yes, his instruction. How did he know his instructions come from Stuart Brown? Anyway, right, but he says yes, his instruction to come from Stuart Brown.
Did you refuse Richard Draycott's request?
Okay, here's a intelligent comment. Yes, I did.
Did you clean anything else out in the yard rather than go inside tankers?
I cleaned skips out.
What sort of thing was in the skips?
Food ingredients for the mix.
And him.
Do you think he just cleaned skips out? Because Richard used to be on the roll on roll off too. I remember Richard said he would never ever get in a tanker, and he doesn't even know why he didn't open the valve that night or turn on the pump to pump the liquid off. And so here's Richard, would never get in a tanker, but here's Liam Holmes saying here that Richard asked him to go in a tanker.
Well, allegedly, Richard Draycott asked Nathan to go to the tanker, didn't he? So, all right. Okay.
Why were you prepared to clean the skips and not road tankers?
Skips, open top, plenty of airflow. If I was in danger, I could have climbed out.
Who was in charge of health and safety at the yard?
I'm not 100% sure who was in charge. I believe Ian Leivers and Gillian Leivers and son Lance Leivers was.
Was he forgotten, Nicky? Has he forgotten Nicky Maruniak? Because as you guys unpacked in the last episode, and you rightly picked up on it, Phil, when Kel-J come to do the health and safety regarding the baler had nothing to do with FEMAS. It wasn't in the FEMAS scheme. It was purely health and safety. And Nicky Johnson Maruniak did the risk assessments for the baler. Liam Holmes was there during this period. Liam Holmes was there when Nicky Johnson Maruniak did the risk assessment and method statement, along with Mike Maruniak and Spencer Commons, for the new big addition to my business, the can crushing plant that we installed because we won the Coca-Cola contract, which Liam Holmes worked on. But he's saying he's not sure. He's not mentioning Nicky Johnson Maruniak. He's not mentioning Mike Maruniak. I don't know if you covered it because I was out earlier in this episode, but Nicky Johnson Maruniak did a risk assessment and method statement for another big asset that I purchased, the articulated roll-on, roll-off and tipper trailers. And as she explained herself, she used to go to factories. And through the FEMA scheme, the people we worked with at factories were the health and safety people that took care of the health and safety at factories. And so, of course, everything was health and safety. FEMAS wasn't a full-time job. It was a few hours a week. But in combination it with health and safety, which it was, it come hand in hand, it gave Nikki Johnson Maruniak more work, which she wanted.
Yeah. You'll have to listen back to the episode, Ian, and you'll see how she contradicts herself. It's quite an interesting question here, right? Where the who was in charge of health and I didn't notice this in health and safety at the yard, right? And his response is, "I'm not 100% sure who was in charge. Ian Leivers and Gillian Leivers' son, Lance Lever, was." Phil, just read out the next question.
Were you ever told who was in charge of health and safety?
So there's two different questions there, and his response is totally different. Not that I can remember.
He could bloody well remember the question before, couldn't he?
Exactly.
No problem remembering those three.
So basically, Ian, you were in charge of the health and safety in the yard, along with Gillian and Lance. But the general health and safety of the company, he couldn't remember.
No.
Anyway.
Who was in charge?
Ian Leivers, Gillian Leivers.
Do you have much to do with either Ian Leivers or Gillian Leivers?
No.
Did Gillian Leivers speak to you?
On a rare occasion when something needed doing.
What about Ian Leivers? Did he speak to you?
Yes. How do you have much to do with Gillian Leivers? I suppose you can get away with that.
He said, "Who are you?"
What about
Gillian Leivers? What sort of thing did Gillian Leivers ask you to do?
In terms of what?
Work. What did she ask you to do?
Could be anything from anything generally. I'm not quite sure. I'm not quite sure, to be honest. He doesn't even know what he's doing.
Was it work related? I'd like you to F off.
I'm just thinking he's a young man, I guess.
I'm sure he bought a bottle of pop in with him, and I'm sure he had a baseball cap on. It was farcical, this lad. I think we've missed because he called the judge mate right at the start, and then at the finish to him. If it's not in, again, why hasn't the solicitors put these important things in?
Was it work related?
Could be. I just want to go back to that one. Could be anything from anything general. I'm not quite sure, to be honest. It was there for 14 months, apparently. Was it work related? Yes.
Was it to do with operation of the yard?
Bollocking. There's an objection there. It says
leading.
Yeah.
Oh no! That's good.
Something must have woke him up.
We perhaps put a slip through.
The kid must have been chewing gum and blowing bubbles.
How could that be leading question anyway? Was it to do with the operation of the yard? And when he comes back and before that and says, "I'm not quite sure, to be honest," doesn't know what he's doing. Anyway, you can't make this shit up.
Give us examples if you can't remember. Eh? Give us examples if you can't remember of work-related things she might have asked you to do. If you can't remember, fine.
This is comedy gold. This is. I can't remember. He's using his own words. This is like a proper comedy sketch.
What about Ian Leivers? Give us a couple of examples of things he'd say to you.
Oh my days. Okay, see if you can work out the response, Ian.
Get in a tanker, because remember, I shout and make them nervous. Sometimes make them laugh. I mean, I don't know why I'm laughing to that, but what would I have asked him to do?
Oh, we'll never know.
No, ignore that bit. What do you think his response is?
I don't. He can't remember.
Verbatim. There you go. You don't win a prize, but there you go. That's what he said. All right, carry on, Phil.
What about Stuart Brown? Did he speak to you?
Regarding asking me to go into tanks.
What about otherwise at work? Did he request or ask you to do anything else?
Okay, Ian, imagine the response.
Can't remember.
There you go.
Thank you very much.
No questions.
No questions.
The
Prosecution barrister was glad to see the back of him. He must have had a word with the defence solicitors because he's friends with Nathan Buckley. I know this. He knows him. What on earth did you put his name down for us to use for?
I can't remember. Okay,
So
Phil, I'm not too sure how to work this.
It's like my grandson. Whenever I ask him something, it's always is, I'm not sure. It's just, this man's 19, Arthur's 9. I'm not sure.
You've taught him well then.
So we've got a new barrister here, by the way.
Yeah, okay, fine. Okay, you go.
So he's saying you started work in November 2015, is that right?
I believe so.
Evidence given today, Stuart Brown asked you on one occasion to clean a tanker. You directly.
Okay, he says one occasion.
Oh, the one? How have we got to the one?
Exactly. That's what I'm thinking. He was doing it fortnightly and monthly before. Yes.
Also said on occasion he asked you, actually Richard Draycott told you Stuart Brown wanted you to do it.
Yes.
Not something you heard from Stuart Brown, but you heard from Richard Draycott on that occasion.
Do you remember it? I didn't pick up who it was. This is obviously Stuart's barrister, isn't it, Dominic Kay?
Yes.
Yeah, of course.
He's trying to clear Stuart from it.
He says yes.
In your statement, remember making your statement?
Yes.
Oh, you should have said I can't remember, shouldn't it? That would have been absolute gold, that wouldn't it? So read this morning?
Yes, but in all honesty, Phil, it's golden enough what we read out.
Didn't make it until the end of 2017, late October 2017.
Yes.
That right?
Yes.
Wrong. He didn't wait to me till October 2017.
No, he's talking about signing a statement now, Ian.
Oh, sorry. Can you remember?
Can't
yeah,
remember.
he can actually. So, that right?
Yes.
What you say in the statement, aware that management asking people to clean tanks.
Yes.
And that on occasions you have been asked to go in and clean tanks.
Yes.
You then say in one statement you use both words tanks and tankers. On the first occasion, I was asked by Stuart Brown how strong the smell was.
That being a road tanker, yes.
When people ask you to clean a tank, would have meant road tanker. What you understood them to mean?
He says yes.
Why would you think that?
Well, we're just giving his response. That's what he says.
No, I was just saying, why would you automatically think that? That it was a road tanker as opposed to a tank.
Oh, I see what you're saying. Okay, yeah. Good point. Well, anyway, it's this cross-examination, like all of them, it's just conveyor belts anyway. So because there's a difference, isn't there?
So the conversation you told the jury about with Stuart Brown quite soon after started at Greenfeeds.
No, this was not too long before the incident itself.
Towards the end of 2016, correct?
Yes.
Where did the conversation happen?
Go on, Ian.
Can't remember.
Okay, I've got an addition to that. If it was so basically it says that, I can't remember if it was in the main office or in the mixing shed itself, but you can't remember.
two very different places. Take it, you can't remember where the conversation took place.
Oh, he's clocked onto that now. Then this barrister.
He's not going to let him down either.
Oh, what?
Oh,
He's
yeah.
going to get exactly from him what he wants. Trust me.
Time. This is you, Phil. Still. Or was that me?
No, it's you, I think.
Okay. Time. Stuart Brown asked me in the office. Richard Graycross addressed me in the mixing shed. So he remembers then. So
Yeah, can remember that.
having put those words in his mouth, he's now remembered that it was Richard Draycott in the office. Stuart Brown in the office, and Richard Draycott in the mixing shed. All right,
with the candlestick. Only interested I'm only interested in the library. I'm only interested in hearing what Stuart Brown said. That took place in the office.
Yes.
What day of the week?
Ian.
Yeah, can I interact? Is he going to go on next to ask who was in the office? And was Gillian Leivers there?
Just bear with.
Possibly.
Ian, you can just do. DK just asked what day of the week. Ian, what's the response?
What day of the week? You can't remember.
Okay.
Who else was present?
Ian.
No.
Ian.
I can't remember.
Can't remember.
You've got a role in this
But
show.
surely he's going to lead him. Surely.
You can remember in the office, but you can't remember who else was there.
Not briefly, no.
Not briefly.
Yep, that's what his response is. Oh, yes. Yeah, I thought you was questioning me then. I don't want to say so or so was there, but then them not to be there. So he didn't want to put people in places that were not there.
What was said by Stuart Brown to you, not in your statement either. You don't say where and when took place, who was there, or what was said.
He wanted me to go into a tank and clean it out.
You said to him no because of no PPE.
Because of no proper PPE.
Yeah, because of no proper equipment.
Well, right at the start of this interview with him on the stand, he claimed that there was a blockage. Now it's cleaning out. They're two different, separate things, aren't they?
Well,
yeah, that question. Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, between a clean out and a blockage. Yeah.
I thought he was going to go into a powerful statement then, Ian. Come on.
No, I was trying to take one of your lines, but I couldn't quite remember it. They are. You normally say I'm a bit tired from the bell ringing. They are two separate. I forget what it is, but carry on. Sorry.
There was no proper equipment, basically. So what did he say?
He didn't really give me an answer.
He didn't give you an answer?
No.
Is there a reason why you can remember more specific details now than appeared to in 2017 when made a statement year after an incident took place?
Don't understand the question.
Neither do I, mate. Why were you able to give more detail now than you could in 2017, 5 years ago?
That's a very good question, actually. But he responds, don't understand.
So the judge says, were you asked when he made of a statement the sort of details that DK is asking?
Ian?
Can't remember.
There you go.
Could it be that on the occasion that you recall Stuart Brown said to you, I want you to wash a tanker?
No, he strictly wanted me to... Oh, strictly? Oh. He strictly wanted me to go inside the tanker to clean it out. He strictly wanted me... That's a very assertive term, isn't it?
So he definitely didn't want him to stand on the outside. He specifically wanted him on the inside.
Yeah.
Suggests that's simply not true.
How is that not true?
Stuart Brown on no occasion spoke to you and asked you to go into a road tanker and clean it out.
But do you remember here? So Dominic Gay is now asserting that Stuart Brown would never ask anyone to enter a tanker. Yet later, we will come to Stuart Brown in due course, Stuart Brown says he went in himself and that he used to go in and wash out if it had a 2-inch strip down the middle. But Dominic Kay, at this point in the trial, is asserting that Stuart Brown did not ask him to go into a tanker. Why isn't he agreeing with him? Because his client, Stuart Brown, later claims he did.
Right. Okay. Obviously, I've not seen Stuart Brown's statement yet, but that'll be coming up in due course. His response is, I would just say that's a lie. So he's saying Stuart Brown's lying, basically.
I think he's right on this point.
Okay.
Lie, it didn't happen. You are asking the jury to accept he summoned you to the office. You can't remember when or where and asked you to go into a road tanker. That's your position, is it?
The judge interacts here. Witness explaining evidence. If you want to challenge untrue, you can. This is you again, Phil.
It's quite interesting that the judge has interacted twice. When at the outset, when Liam Holmes started to give evidence, it was farcical. It was like a sketch from Fawlty Towers. But he's now wanted to guide this young man along.
So simply didn't happen that Stuart Brown asked you to go into a tanker standing in the office on that day or any other day.
That did happen.
If you have heard that exactly the same as on later occasion from Richard Draycott, someone told you that that's what Stuart Brown wanted you to do rather than him ask you himself.
Stuart Brown wanted me to go inside and clean a tanker inside the tanks. Oh, no, we said,
Thank you.
I insert the word tanker. He said tanks and tanks. So, okay, no more questions, basically. Okay, there's a recess. They come back at 14:05. And then we go on to Lee Marshall.
Lee Marshall.
Okay.
So no barristers has any questions for Liam Holmes?
None.
No.
What? Gillian's barrister, Jim Agros, had no questions for him.
Well, based on this paperwork, no.
Mark Ballish had no questions for him for the company.
No.
No.
Neither did my personal barrister, Malcolm Galloway. They knew, didn't they? They couldn't ask anything of this man because it was just that farcical. They knew anything he said would absolutely turn the case upside down, and they couldn't risk asking him one single question. They just wanted Dominic Kay to intervene to cover Stuart Brown's back. And it's as plain as daylight.
Yeah, before we go to Lee Marshall, he's actually called me a few times, and I actually ended up recording some of his phone calls because I thought it was so relevant for the CCRC. I've always been of the premise, I started off with the view that this case, something went very, very wrong purely on the basis of the sentence. But having gone through the series and going through all these statements, I've learned that basically things went very, very, very wrong in terms of how the proceedings, from the moment of the incident and to the point of the police arriving, and then to how it ended up in court. Now, whilst Phil and I might laugh, right, but it's just how ridiculous and how this is allowed to be seen as justice. It really is massively injustice. And we laugh at the fact that the system has allowed this to happen. And it's never questioned. And it's not laughing in the sake of that we're mocking the events of the night, but we're mocking that well, we're not even mocking, we're laughing that I just can't believe how this is allowed to happen this way. And it's clear as day to anybody, the injustice in this case. And this case has cost millions, and Gillian Leivers in jail. She shouldn't be in jail. I've always said that. But it just riles me, and the only thing I can do is laugh, because it's a mockery of what we believe the justice system is.
It is, Brad, and you're quite right. And this young man, Liam Holmes, is a classic example of how that entire Crown Court case, the Greenfeeds case, is the biggest miscarriage of justice ever. You've got Liam Holmes. This person should have been ripped to bits by the defence, yet no defence for my family Well, my company had not a single question for this man. Yet Dominic K to protect Stuart Brown did. It is the utmost. The words, I cannot get them out. How I'm gobsmacked. The simple word that no defence had a question for Liam Holmes. He should have been absolutely ripped to shreds, hung, drawn, and quartered in that court. But
Yeah,
not
I mean, oh yeah, I mean certainly I'm just going to be polite here. Cross-examination lacked a lot of will, and it baffles me, to be honest. It really baffles me. Why, given the opportunity to try and seek and get justice, it baffles me why the direction was. Well, I've come out with my opinion. The direction of the court case was all about Gillian. And they've achieved their goal. But how nobody could stand up and say this is not right. Even recall witnesses knowing the contradictions and like. But anyway, I kind of mentioned this sort of stuff in the past.
You said a lot of time ago, Brad, that this was an ambush on Gillian, and you're absolutely 100% correct.
Yeah.
That's all about.
Okay.
Well, I get extremely frustrated with this case. I really do, because I come from the same camp as Brad on this one, and I think Gillian Leivers should not be in jail. And there's a million reasons. Well, there's at least 70 reasons why she shouldn't be in jail, because there's about 70 discrepancies between all these statements.
Sorry to interrupt. Keep in mind there, yeah. I just want to say that 70 number. That's not plucked out of thin air. That's a number of issues that we found as lay people with the case. Sorry, Phil. Carry on.
Yeah, I mean, this business I was talking to Ian about earlier about where the deceased were retrieved from, it just becomes a fog in the case, basically, and we end up arguing about things like who said this, who said that. You know, this is a contradiction in that, blah, 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 blah. And all the time we're arguing about these things. Gillian Leivers, who never issued an instruction, could hardly be described as a senior manager, who hardly knew anything about flipping tankers, is in prison for 13 years. That's the bottom line. But you end up arguing about all this stuff, this periphery stuff, that completely detracts from the thing that we're most concerned about, which is why Gillian Leivers got this sentence in the first bloody place. Absolutely ridiculous. And it's because all these people contrived, and I don't just mean the yard people, I'm talking about the police contrived, the barristers contrived, even the bloody judge is making statements that he shouldn't make. You know, he's referring back to 2005 when he shouldn't do, misdirecting the jury when he shouldn't do, talking about scant regard for health and safety when we have actually sat here, you and I, Brad and Ian, and proved that if you hire the likes of Peninsula twice and you hire, Allied Plant, you can hardly be construed as being scant disregard for health and safety, even if they never actually delivered any of that health and safety to the people on the factory floor. Where do you draw the line? Where does it stop becoming pertinent health and safety and total disregard of health and safety? It's just a madness. The whole thing is a complete madness and very, very frustrating, I might add. And it's because they've all got their own narrative. They've all got their own narrative. And when I start to query my AI friend, we start up with some very tight, taut arguments. It comes straight back at me and says, "Oh well, yes, Gillian Leivers is in jail and got 13 years because of this, contrite reasons, And as AI is spitting out these reasons, I'm going, well, hang on, we've disproved that, and we've disproved that, and we can disprove that. And then I go back to AI and say, well, hang on, what about? And I've just seen a word here in at the end of this last statement we've looked at, and it says, JH, evidence in body-worn footage. And I'm thinking, all right, let's talk about body-worn footage. Because from get-go, from minute one, with Sergeant, whatever his bollocks is, walking down the yard, and he says it's a confined space entry accident, and somebody in management is going to cop for it, effectively, is what he said.
Yeah,
Made up his mind there and then that people high up in this company were responsible. He then the police proceed to produce evidence from transcripts, from body-worn footage from Gillian and Lance, and possibly even Ian, presented in court that was never taken under caution. Even though, way back at the start, the suspicion is that they're going to cop for it. Everything should have been done under caution, and it never was.
Okay.
Simple.
I've not heard you rant like that before, Phil. It's lovely. It's so true, though, what you're saying, though, Phil. I agree with you wholeheartedly. I mean, we've got no skin in the game in this, right? And that's what people don't understand. Ian, we've got 1 minute left. If you want to finish up.
Well, just as Phil said there, carrying on from what Phil said, isn't it funny how they used body cam footage against Gillian, yet the two police officers who arrived at the scene first, their body cam footage was deleted because what they saw, they decided that people had died under suspicious circumstances, and the other officer said he didn't think that people should have been in there. But their body cam footage, which would have captured the true crime, the police deleted it.
Well, wouldn't have captured the incident, but I get what you're saying.
No, they captured evidence that this was another crime. They'd have captured potentially Michael Wayne Darwin down there at the scene, who they protected throughout.
So when you get Gillian in court saying, that the statement that she made was under duress, she's absolutely bloody true. I mean, she's distressed, she's distraught because two of her operatives have died. She's naturally distressed and distraught. So anything that she's going to say is under duress. She should have been under caution. She should have been put under caution, or even advised not to say anything.
Well,
until probably the following day.
Very important, Phil. On that night when I appeared at the top of the drive, and that's on the recording, the police said that the owner's here, and when I came down, I should have been the first person who the police should have talked to and asked questions of. No police.
I agree, Ian, but we've got to go. Do you want to name the last song? Okay,
so let's just have a little bit of quiet after this. So it's again another track from the new Muse album. I say this album's potentially their best ever, and it's a song called Hush by Muse and Ellie Goulding.
Okay, thank you, everybody, and I'm going to play that for now.
Quiet the cobra, can't keep composure. I want to feel it. Silence the giant, just let the light in. Secrets to keep. I want to feel it. Forget the world together. Choke out the noise forever. Forget the world together. Just for a moment. It's getting too loud, don't let it drown the sound. It's you and me now, there's chaos all around. So lose yourself, free yourself. Take a breath and silence is everything. I know you need it. Forget the world together. Shut out the noise forever. Forget the world together. Just for a moment. It's getting too loud. Don't let it drown us out. It's you and me now. There's chaos all around. So lose yourself, free yourself, and feel. Take a breath and hush. Take a breath and hush. Just for a moment, hush. It's getting too loud. Don't let it drown us out. It's you and me now. There's chaos all around. So lose yourself, free yourself, and take a breath and